Welcome back to the Getting Out There podcast. Can't believe it's been 2 weeks since episode 4 after a year break. Great reaction, guys. Appreciate it. 162 downloads in the last 2 weeks of episode 4, among others that were downloaded from the previous 3 episodes. So massive crowd. I do appreciate it. Had a lot of people share my post. Had a lot of people reach out and say good job. A lot of feedback, good feedback, feedback that I'll take on for the next episodes moving forward. So, no, it's fucking awesome. Thank you. It was a great reaction. It's good to be back. It's good to get out what I'm genuinely passionate about and share it with everybody. And today's episode, I was thinking about, with everything going on in the news about cost of living, people talking about how expensive it is to go away. Why don't I bring up how we go camping, how to go camping cheap. I'm one who has done this. I currently still do it. It's pretty easy, but it takes a lot of bit of research. Having 2 years of lockup, it allowed me to spend a lot of time to see what works, what doesn't work from our previous trip prior to everything, and to the trip that we did after. I found that you can do it cheaply. You can do it on the cheap. You can prepare for it. So push comes to shove, that 1 week that you go away, that you're not hit with all the costs to go on that one trip and you're left with nothing after. Preparing for it is probably one of the easiest things you can do, but with a bit of assistance, a bit of guidance, at this point, I've got an email, info@gettingouthere.net.au if you have any further questions. I'll be releasing some content to help, but these are the few points that have helped me in the past and still do and work, and shared with other guys and girls out there, and they all used it and it works for them. So strap yourselves in and let's go through some of the things that worked for me in the past. Number one is probably making a shopping list and preparing food according to how long you're going away and where you're going, what you're doing. I would traditionally cook the meats on the first and second night, being in the fridge for a couple of days. I run an Engel 40-litre fridge off a second battery. A lot of people run an Esky with ice. Works great. It works perfectly fine. But if you are running that setup with the Esky and ice, I do suggest doing the meat earlier. Veggies can last. I find veggies like cabbage, carrots last a long time in the fridge. You sort of want to cook a few things like asparagus and broccoli a bit better. Even just vac seal it. You can get a vac seal from anywhere, Amazon, Good Guys, anywhere. I use one and it works perfectly. So saying that, I create a shopping list of the nights we're going. Traditionally, I'll cook a pizza with some bases and some cheese with the kids, and the second night we'll do meat, or even vice versa. It depends. It depends on how the kids feel, how I feel. It does take a bit of time preparing it sometimes, but I find preparing it prior, having a shopping list done, having all the foods ready, even label them day 1, day 2, I find that works out well. And knowing if you're going away, say in 3 to 4 weeks, even 2 weeks away, instead of doing one massive shop, you can have your list on your phone. You can have it however you can print it out and have it in your car. But do the shopping over 3 to 4 weeks, and you might find some specials in the 3 to 4 weeks that you're not hit hard, and you keep a box in the house of what you're going to take away. And what you do is you have all instead of running around like a headless chook the night before or the day before, you've sort of drip fed the shopping over the last couple of weeks, and it doesn't hit you so hard in the side pocket. But also it's prepared. You can put it in the box, and then you put the box in the car or camper or whatever you do, and you're off. The most expensive part of probably camping is the snacks, especially if you bring kids, as we all know. As people who don't know, you prepare for snacks. There's never enough snacks. There's never enough food. They're always hungry, and it's good because they're always active. They're in the air. They're not behind screens. They're not in a classroom or kinder or inside the house. They're outside, and that fresh air really does something to them, including making them very bloody hungry. In saying that as well, carry water. Carry at least a 20-litre jerry can of water and a cask of drinking water. They'll go through it all. It's something I kept forgetting at the first time, and the second time I always brought like a 10 litre cask of water along with a 20 litre jerry can of water for washing hands and the odd shower, whatever you have to do, or for cooking pasta and drinking water. It just really helped. It was always covered. I find also, having the jerry cans, it's $20 at Bunnings. You buy a tap, put it in. I will actually release. What I do is I have the jerry can in the back of the car with some food grade hose with a tap at the end, and I just release the tap, and the kids wash their hands from that, or I use it to put water in the pasta. It cost me like $30 to make. I'll put all the instructions one day online, and I'll share it with everybody so everyone knows what to buy and do. It's a 5-minute job. It's probably a 20-minute job. Bit of fun to do as well with the kids. Fun to do yourself. Bit of DIY never hurts. And yeah, that's something that really works for me and other people I know around me. Also, when you're camping, if you can or even go at caravan park 2 nights. It's probably, if you're in a tent, it's probably about $30, $35 for a powered site for 2 nights. It'd be total $70. Camper trailer is probably about the same. It's best way to learn what you need and what you don't need. I find all the amenities there, say running water, some activities for the kids, a toilet, shower, kitchen even sometimes. It really does help. It does bring the costs down that you don't have to bring extra. All you have to bring is a bucket, a sponge, and some dishwashing liquid to do your dishes, rather than having to bring, extra water, extra, gas to heat up the water. Everything's there done. It's easy. It's, good play to practice when you're ever going off grid. Going off grid is fantastic. Don't get me wrong. Less people around. If you go with a group of friends, even better. You can explore. It's real camping in a sense, but hey, I think real camping is really getting out there and actually just going in a tent, and just even if you go in a cabin, just enjoying the outdoors, enjoying the time away from life, or reflecting and doing what you need to do to recharge, reconnect with your family, and explore. I find that really does help with just getting out there and doing it in the first place. In saying that as well, something I've learned over my time is you don't have to travel a million miles away to go away. I live in Chelsea, and I'm even planning to take the kids to Point Leo for a couple of days to do a beach camp, even the Rosebud Foreshore, which is only 30, 40 minutes away. I always thought you had to drive away, an hour and a half too, but really, they appreciate anything. You can go really way. You don't have to travel the miles and miles away, and just call the local council and book us a couple of nights in a site right near on the water. Maybe just before summer, because obviously summer down that way is quite chaos. It's booked out for years on end. So yeah, you don't even have to travel that far away. There's so many free camps. So close. Do some research. We always used to go to Kendall's camp, which is in Rubicon. It's about an hour and a half away from where I am now. An hour away when I was living, an hour and a bit more away when I was living in Ringwood. So yeah, there's so many free camps, and they got drop toilets, they got running water, they got a playground around the corner. They're pretty booked out, not booked out in the sense first in first serve in those places. But it's a really good place to experience, especially if you go with a group of friends. Four-wheel driving as well. There's a lot of tracks around there you can explore. Had some really good times there. It's where I learned the four-wheel drive as well. Good memories, and I plan to go back there again, and hopefully a group do as well. So another thing I found cheaper to go away is finding stuff on Marketplace, borrowing stuff off friends for a weekend. There's plenty of ways you can do. Just do some research, what works for you, and then on Marketplace you might find that golden nugget. My tent that I bought was $200 on Marketplace, and I saw it in the shops for over $1,000. And it works fine. We still use it today. It's nearly 6 years old. A couple of blow-up mattresses were off Marketplace. The only thing I like to buy new was the sleeping bags. Actually, sleeping bags were on Marketplace too, one of them. But you don't have to buy new. there's things you want to buy new, and that's totally understandable. But there's a lot of things you don't have to buy new, and if it doesn't work, you try the next time. If it works, you may keep it forever. And if you change your mind and change your setup and whatever, you can always just sell it and buy what works for you. But borrowing off friends as well. Like my friends all go camping. I've borrowed probably a couple of things off of them, and they borrowed a few things off me. You know, you have that trust with your people, and you can do whatever. It'll save you. Say if you need an extra chair, instead of going out buying $100 chair, borrow one off a friend. There's $100 you can put towards petrol. You know, even petrol. Same thing with don't have to go away a million miles away. You know, do a shorter trip, save on petrol. I'm not one to promote anything, but you know, just found out Safeway petrol. You get the 4 cent docket, but if you show your RACV roadside card, you get an extra 5 cents off. Every little bit helps, and especially if you're going full driving, you're towing, you're using more petrol than you are just day-to-day driving. So, yeah, it all adds up in the end of the day, and it makes that trip extra affordable, more affordable, and the ones after less cringing of, oh shit, how much have I got to spend? It's, oh cool, I've got some money set aside, we can do a quick trip, it's not going to cost us the absolute gold mine. And you can get caught up in the YouTube world where you're watching all these people on YouTube using products that cost an absolute bomb. A lot of them are sponsored by those people. A lot of them actually spent that money to actually use those products and use it because they love it and they promote it, which I totally respect. Even the sponsoring side of things, you know, the ones that are using a product that they're not going to, you know, they're not going to buy day-to-day life that someone's, you know, asked them to use it and do an honest unboxing video and use it on the site. Of course, they're going to say, yeah, it's good. Or sometimes they don't. Or sometimes they just, you know, say it's shit, which is good. But then you got the ones that, you know, promote it like, you know, they use it every day. And I can tell you now, they would not buy it. They would not buy it. You know, there's things that you just got to do your research and what works for you. Ask your friends. Ask me. I've probably used a fair few of those products, and I know who have and who likes them, who doesn't, and what could work for you, what couldn't. As I said, email's open. And there's things you're going to spend your money on that you're going to probably use a lot. For me personally, I wouldn't say I spent a lot of money, but storage boxes that are waterproof and easy to pull in and out of the car and work with my setup is something I would have spent money on. My fridge is something I spent money on because I don't want it to fail with all my food in a remote area, particularly when I've got the kids. Other things that I probably wouldn't go cheap on is bed sleeping, like a swag. I've had a cheap swag and it worked fine. But this is cheap swags before the Kings era. When, you know, everybody copied Kings and brought out a cheap swag and end up sleeping in a puddle. You know, there's products I'll avoid. There's products I will use. I had Kings products at the start. Fucking great. But today, I probably wouldn't use some of their products. I still have some of their products. I still use a couple of bits and pieces here and there, like once-offs. But for something I have to use all the time, like an awning for shelter, I would not use their awnings for shelter today, as I did a couple of years ago, because they were made better years ago. But there's so many more options on the market today. You know, you can see so many different options. I've had 3 different types of awnings on my car, and I know what I'm going to get next. And, you know, you might see it in my car one day, but right now I'm still doing my research of what's going to work for me and my family. And also, I find that the other cheapest thing you can do is also just, you know, go with a group of friends and research what everyone likes to eat and do a group shop. Say you go with 2 families, you can do the shopping between the 2 and share it between 2 families. You'd be surprised. You can save some money there as well. I find I personally like camping by myself. If I'm going with a group, I rather camp to myself with my own way. I don't like. You sort of know when your kids eat. You sort of know when you're hungry. You don't have to worry about it. But there is the option. If it works well, you do a bit of teamwork. It can be great. In the end of the day, everyone sort of does their own thing, but we all share the food and we all have a laugh and enjoy the company together. Yeah. So if anyone wants any more tips on how to, what I've just discussed, or want to go in depth, please email me. Follow and subscribe to this channel on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. I will be on YouTube soon. Still working out that side of things. I think the audio is working really well for now. But appreciate the rating that you give, 5-star rating. Put some comments on there. Love to hear some more feedback from everybody. I really enjoyed the feedback that I had previously. And have a great day. Appreciate your support. And I'll be speaking to you all in 2 weeks' time. Have a good night, guys. And all day, cheers. Bye.